Chapter 1, Bristol, February 1986. The wind howled through the stanchions of the bridge, creating a banshee of whistles and shrieks, adding to the eeriness of the puddled lights seeping around the base of the bridge pillars. The darkness enveloped the couple who had left the warmth of the George Hotel after a meal, large amount of wine and cognac, to walk off the supper, and clear their heads. Due to the conditions and low visibility, no one else appeared to venture out onto the bridge, as most fellow diners had left the hotel or retired to their rooms. A number of cars purred past, drivers concentrating in the gloom. No one wanted to drive off and fall into the deep gorge below. They were moving slowly together, almost staggering to the interested observer. The woman seemed to be keeping the man upright as though he were either very drunk or semi-comatose. His state worsened as they approached the middle of the bridge, away from the main lights of the towers. A strong arm supported him around his waist, another holding his left arm firmly to his side. The man faltered, stumbling just before he leant against the outer rail of the bridge, seeming to gain support and balance from the cold steel, leaning into the tensile strength of the woman. She whispered up into his ear in a seemingly endearing fashion as she looked round furtively, the wind pulling at her hair, throwing wisps across her eyes and face. Vision was limited due to the weather conditions, but having looked in both directions, she seemed to relax slightly, cast another glance at her companion, and heaved. The man experienced three emotions in quick succession: surprise, shock, and fear. From standing on the edge of the bridge, he began a quick, cartwheeling flight, his howl of fear lost in the wind and ending with a subdued smack as he hit the water far below. The woman turned and walked quickly but precisely back towards the end of the bridge and the hotel car park. The hazard lights of the Porsche glowed twice as she flicked the key fob, opening the door, removed an envelope from inside of her coat and left it on the dashboard. Relocking the Porsche, she moved away to her own car, an innocuous black Ford XR3i. Driving quietly out of the car park, she travelled to a secluded lay-by north of the bridge. Here she removed the covering number plates from her car. Next, her appearance changed. Despite the cold, she quickly stripped down to her underwear, kicked off the very high heels and donned jeans and jumper. Next went the hair extensions, heavy jewellery, makeup, and other subtle appearance-changing additions, including the removal of a ceramic cap to her front tooth. It had been cracked and chipped since she was a teenager, and she had never had it formally repaired. All this went into a plastic bin liner and was thrown in the boot of her car. The tall, busty, sexy, well-made-up woman who had dined at the hotel bore very little resemblance to the slim 5'2" plain-looking brunette who now drove the Ford. She had always been blessed with chameleon looks, almost reminiscent of supermodels who took to makeup and clothes like muses. At the same time, a 999 call was being placed by a woman walking her dog on the other side of the bridge. The light had been dim and the conditions difficult, but as she made the call from the phone box, she swore that she had seen two figures up on the bridge prior to the fall. The woman in the Ford stopped her car at a service station in Swindon just off the M4. She was careful. Calls could be traced and searched, especially from motorway services. She dialed a London number. It was answered by a man's voice within 3 rings, and she gave an ambiguous description of the events that had occurred. "Just to say that it went off all right and everything has fallen in a place." The recipient answered with a thank you and confirmed that the usual arrangements for the cost of delivery will be met by return. As he replaced the receiver, his chunky gold identity bracelet caught the plastic with a clunk. Moments later he dialed another number. "Simeons, it's me. Yes, all done. Where? Bristol as planned. Suicide note in the car, and apparently he fell for her charms, literally." He chuckled at his own witticism before continuing. "Yes, a cold-hearted bitch. I wouldn't get on the wrong side of her. You'd never see the knife coming." Good," Simmons responded, ignoring the poor joke. "Now our partnership is dissolved, I can get on with placing the agency where and how I want. Never could stand his damn morality." He finished before replacing the receiver.